What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, How to Cook. And today we are making Jamaican oxtail and butterbean in the kitchen. Fast, easy, and simple. Make sure you subscribe, goodie, if you have not. And turn on the post notifications so you won't miss any of the upload. And for all I'm returning goodie, when you don't know, say, when a girl loving her, when you ready for cook, come on, let's go. Alright, goodies, our oxtail is washed nice and clean with salt, lemon juice, and vinegar. In my last video, I did share with you how to clean your oxtail right the first time. That will be linked down below. Now, to get started, to season your oxtail and make it taste real good, I started off with salt and pepper. Salt and black pepper, you guys, all right? Now, to the salt and black pepper, I was very generous with my garlic. I'm using chopped garlic here. And to that, we're going to add some garlic powder. We're also going to add the onion powder. Now, if you notice that I did add more garlic powder than I do onion powder, it's just because that's me. That's how I always cook in my kitchen. I'm adding some pimento seeds or pimento berry, about a teaspoon of that. And to balance the season out, because not everybody can tolerate season, I'm going to add a ginger powder. To the ginger powder, you want some kind of an all-purpose season. I'm choosing to use a Maggi all-purpose season, but you can substitute that out. I'm also going to be adding some jerk season. This is a powdered one. Totally optional, but full with flavor. Now, you don't want to miss out this though. This is the oxtail season. I'm using the Ocherius brand. But based on where you're living, you could use whatever oxtail seasons that you could come across. You go ahead and grab that, okay? But you can also make your own oxtail season. Now, I'm going to add some chopped chives. This is also totally optional, but you could add green season to it if you would like. I'm adding some paprika. Paprika is not for the flavor, but it does help with the coloring. So I went ahead and added the paprika to it. And we're going to add some browning. I'm using Jamaican Choice here. You could use whatever other brand that you have in your kitchen. Also, you could make your browning from scratch. I do have a recipe to show you how to make browning right the first time at home. Okay. Now that we're done, everything looks amazing. You could add, you could take away, but you don't want to take away onion powder and garlic powder. Now, I'm going to rub all the seasons in together. Now, if you're doing this overnight, of course, you could pop it in your refrigerator and let it sit and marinate for hours. But me, Juliana, in my kitchen, many of them time there. I don't have time to do all of that because I have a hungry husband I have to feed, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for 30 minutes only. Room temperature, 30 minutes only. You could give it an hour if you have the time, but all I need is 30 minutes because I'm going to pop this in my Flavorful. Now, you guys hear me talk about my Flavorful so often here on the channel. Flavorful changed my cooking life forever, all right? So you guys will see me using the Flavorful for the recipe. This is what your season looks like, your oxtail rather looks like. Very, very, very seasoned. You need to have your seasons clinging on to the oxtail. That is how you know for sure, goodie, that you're going to have an amazing tasting oxtail in your kitchen. And remember, you have to be sure to have the seasons of your choice just to make sure that you have the right flavor, okay? All-purpose season, you could substitute that, but you need onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, paprika and all them something there, definitely. And your browning, you don't want to have white oxtail. Browning, and you can make it from scratch. And I said before, I have that recipe up so you guys could follow. All right, so now that I'm really satisfied with the way that it's looking, I did add some parchment paper just to seal everything in, and then I covered it with a plastic wrap, and I put it on my countertop for a half an hour. Like I said, now come to me about my half an hour thing because I'm the half an hour girl, okay? I don't stay long in my kitchen when I'm cooking, you guys. You could make your one sit a little bit longer. But for me, once again, in my kitchen, half an hour do it. All right? So make sure that you're following all the steps here to make sure that you have the best oxtail ever. 30 minutes later, it's time to add our oxtail into our Favorware. Amazing. You could find this on Amazon, okay? I went ahead and put in my oxtail, and I did add just a tad bit of water to the oxtail. Not too much, but you want to be sure that the water that you add to the oxtail, it covers the oxtail like about an inch above the level of where you're going to put it, okay? Just make sure you do that. Just enough to cover the oxtail, just like that. No more than that, okay? Press it in there because it's going to produce more moisture. It's going to be water, but it smells absolutely amazing. Cover it up, all right? And it smells amazing. Oh my goodness. That gravy is looking good, but we are going to thicken it up. So all I'm going to do here is transfer the oxtail from pressure cooker to stovetop. But y'all know that if you're using the pressure, you could always finish up your recipe here by adding your additional stuff that you need to add, and be sure that you thicken your gravy using cornstarch. But I will show you how I complete the recipe on stovetop. Alright, so I added the oxtail to the stovetop here. Alright, be sure you subscribe, guys. Don't forget to do that. Now, it's simple from here, okay? After you subscribe. Now, again, we're going to give it some extra additional boost of flavor here. So this time I'm cutting another medium-sized onion, but this time I'm not chopping it up. I'm just slicing it. Adding some scallion to it, 2 stalks of scallion. I did slice that up for the recipe. And then I'm adding quite a bit of thyme, because thyme is essential. Thyme make everything taste better. Adding some bell peppers here. I'm choosing to use green, but of course you could substitute out your color of choice. All them taste the same, trust me. I just color different. Then I'm adding some more garlic, because garlic is fabulous and garlic is healthy. And I'm adding some more tomatoes. Some people don't put tomatoes in them oxtail, but me love tomato in my oxtail. Yes, good day. Same way. So then after I was done doing that, I went ahead and added the veggies to the oxtail. All right. If you want to add some pepper, you could go ahead and add pepper here, but I did not add any hot scotch bonnet to the oxtail. All right, because you don't know, say me afraid of pepper. Okay, so anybody will gonna eat this, gonna add them own pepper when we serve in the plate. But go ahead and add your scotch bonnet, goodie, if that's what you like. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our butter beans on top. We also want to be sure that we season up these things. So I added a little bit of ketchup, some Maggi seasoning to it, a little bit more onion and garlic powder to it. Just go ahead and flavor it up, y'all, and just make it your own. Just to make sure that your vegetables is well seasoned. I did add some more of the combo season and oxtail season and all the other good stuff. All right, and I also did add black pepper as well, but try not to bother the butter bean too much. Once you add the butter bean to it, you don't want to bother it too much. You just want to be sure that, because you don't want it to sink at the bottom of the pot. You want the butter beans to stay on top. Just add your black pepper to it and cover it up and let it simmer for about 30 minutes on medium heat. When you come back, you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, now the gravy is perfect. If you want to leave it this way, you can leave it this way, but for me like when my gravy have more of a smothered type of a feel to it. Now this is what you want to do if you want to move on to that step. And again, I repeat, if you want to leave it right here, you can leave it right here, but I don't like watery gravy. I like a smothered gravy. So now in the middle of your pot, you're going to make sure that your spoon is turned up. In that container, have a teaspoon of cornstarch. I'm going to add a tad bit of water. So let's just say you added about a tablespoon of water to a teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix it like so, and then you pour it directly into the spoon that you have sitting on the upright right there. Just pour it right in on the spoon, right? After you do that, you want to go ahead and slightly mix it right in the middle. See, I'm doing it slightly, just like that, okay? And then after you've done that, in all corners of the pot, you combine it into the middle. That is where your cornstarch is. Now, for some of you, you might say you don't have cornstarch. Of course, you could use flour, but I have to tell you that flour gives it a different color and texture. So be very careful on how much flour that you're using for the recipe. The flour does take away from the flavor, but the cornstarch has absolutely no flavor to it. So it gives it a better bind as far as using it to make your gravy, okay? And that is it, y'all. It is all done here. After you had your cornstarch, let it cook for another maybe 2 minutes, because cornstarch cooks very fast. It cooks faster than flour does. But that is it. 2 minutes of cooking and your oxtail is finished, y'all. Finished. And the whole smells amazing. These oxtail are so tender. They were falling off the bone, and I wanted to be sure that my oxtails kind of stay on the bone and not falling all the way off the bone, y'all. So I definitely was very gentle with it, okay? But you can see how that gravy is nice, and it just sticks on to the meat. The flavor is to the core. Look at that, y'all. Perfect. You're definitely going to love this recipe. I have several different oxtail recipes, but for some reason or the other, I always tend to switch up my oxtails when I cook it. I like to cook oxtail one way all the time, but at the end of the day, it is oxtail and butter bean. Give it a try, y'all. You're going to love it. Alright? But you don't know, say, girl, I don't know yet to know. I had to put this on the plate so you could see how it looks on the plate too, okay? And there you have it on the plate, y'all. These oxtails are so beautiful. The color is amazing. I didn't have to add any more browning to it because it did what it had to do. But overall, everything came out spectacular. I just mixed it up with some rice and peas. I had some romaine lettuce and tomatoes and all that good stuff, and it was done. Here I'm having for the side drink, that is beetroot and ginger, and that was a lemon, lemon juice. Oh my goodness, this was done, y'all. If you want to see the recipe for the beetroot and the ginger juice, just let me know and I'll definitely do one. But it's pretty simple, y'all. But that was it, and it's all done. Be sure, y'all, to give this recipe a massive try, and look how tender the oxtail is falling off the bone, y'all. Give it a try. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Bring them, come and send them, come. I'm waiting. And when you get done doing that, tell me where you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.